Hi everyone, I'm Justin Cook, a Texas family law attorney. In today's video, we're going to talk about a role that sometimes confuses parents going through custody battles, the attorney ad litem. The attorney ad litem can have a major impact on the outcome of your case, so it's important to understand what they do, who they represent, and how you can work with them effectively. Let's start with the basics. An attorney ad litem is a lawyer that the court appoints to represent the child directly. That's different from an amicus attorney. Remember, an amicus attorney assists the judge but doesn't represent any party. An attorney ad litem, on the other hand, is the child's lawyer. Their duty is to advocate for what the child wants and to provide them with legal representation, just like you or I would get if we hired a lawyer. So if you're in a case and you hear that the court has appointed an attorney ad litem, think of it this way: your child now has their own lawyer at the table. So when does the court decide to appoint an attorney ad litem? There are a few situations where this might happen. If there are allegations of abuse or neglect, if Child Protective Services is involved in the case, in termination of parental rights cases, or when the judge believes the child's voice needs to be directly represented rather than filtered through the parents. In CPS cases especially, having an attorney ad litem is very common. Texas law often requires it because those are high-stakes cases where the child's safety and future are on the line. Now let's talk about what the attorney ad litem actually does. Their responsibilities are laid out under Texas law. Here are the key ones. 1. Meet with the child. They are required to meet with the child before hearings and talk to them about their wishes. Advocate for the child's expressed desires. Unlike a guardian ad litem, who makes recommendations based on the best interest, the attorney ad litem is supposed to argue for what the child actually wants, even if others disagree. 3. Explain the legal process to the child. They act like a real lawyer would, breaking things down so the child understands what's happening. 4. Cross-examining witnesses and presenting evidence. They can call witnesses, question parents, and argue in court just like your lawyer does. In short, the attorney ad litem doesn't just sit back and take notes. They are an active participant in the litigation, representing the child as their client. So how much influence does an attorney ad litem have? The answer: a lot. Judges take their role very seriously. When the attorney ad litem speaks, they are literally giving the child a voice in the courtroom. For example, if a 12-year-old says they want to live with mom, the attorney ad litem has an obligation to advocate for that position. It's true that the judge isn't required to follow the child's wishes. The court still has to decide based on the best interest of the child. But when those wishes are brought in through a trained attorney, they carry more weight than if the parent just says, "Well, the child told me they want this." It's easy to confuse all these roles: amicus attorney, guardian ad litem, attorney ad litem. Let's break it down simply. Amicus attorney helps the judge, doesn't represent anyone. Guardian ad litem makes recommendations about best interest. Attorney ad litem represents the child directly, advocates for what the child wants. That distinction is critical to understand, especially if you're a parent in one of these cases. If an attorney ad litem has been appointed in your case, here are some practical tips. Respect the relationship. Don't try to coach your child on what to say. Judges and attorneys can see through that. Cooperate with the ad litem. Provide documents or information they request. Stay child-focused. Remember, the attorney ad litem is there to give your child a voice, not to pick sides between parents. Showing respect for their role often reflects positively. Stay child-focused. Remember, the attorney ad litem is there to give your child a voice, not to pick sides between the parents. Showing respect for their role often reflects positively on you in court. So to recap, an attorney ad litem is your child's own lawyer in a family law case. Their job is to represent the child's wishes, to advocate for them in court, and to make sure their voice is heard in the legal process. If you're involved in a case where an attorney ad litem has been appointed, take it seriously. Understand their role, respect the process, and always keep the focus on your child's well-being. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future Texas Family Law Insights.